live. Excellent. Okay, so we're supposed to be live now. I'm gonna turn off all my devices just to save a little bit of bandwidth. So if you're sort of rewatching it, you can probably jump ahead a couple of minutes. I think it's live indeed. There we go. Okay, excellent.
You are cutting out a little bit for me.
Yes. Okay. Okay, I'll have a look at that. Let me check if we also live in on LinkedIn. Yes, perfect. So if you're joining, welcome. Give us a little message in the comments. This is a live session, so you can actually interact with us. And this is yeah, seems like everything is running smoothly. And we'll give people 2 or 3 minutes to join in. There you go. Excellent. Lucky us, the setting is perfect. How you doing?
I am doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm quite excited about this interview because we've been talking a lot. We've been exchanging a lot. We had a couple of prior sessions.
Yes. We always have so
And
much fun.
yeah, absolutely. It always starts as a hey, let's have like a 15-minute conversation, and and we have that 1 hour later kind of meme dropping in. So that's great. That's great. And I just saw that in the comments you had hot news that you wanted to share. Something about a YouTube channel, but I won't spoil right now.
Okay. Well, what do you want to
You got
start
a
with?
lot of work. Yeah, you got a lot of work done last night, apparently.
I did. I did.
Excellent. Cool. Cool. Can't wait to hear all about that. So we'll give an extra minute or two for people to join. Let us know in the comments if everything is running smoothly, if you can hear us. If you have any questions for Shannon, you can drop them into the chat so that I can pass those questions to. Okay. Excellent. I think we can give it a start. Are you ready to start?
I am.
Cool. Okay. So, sorry.
I said fire away.
Fire away. Let's go. So let me put on my slightly lighter glasses. This is usually the sign of the live starting. Excellent. So Shannon, um, who is Shannon and what are you doing now?
Professionally, Shannon is now a UGC creator and strategist for brands around the world who are trying to reach people in their 40s and 50s and looking for authentic content that connects with that audience.
Excellent. So quick question for the people who just got off of the Bat Cave. What does UGC stands for?
UGC is user generated content. And a lot of people think of, 20 something year olds on TikTok doing product endorsements. And that is kind of how it started. But as an industry, it is rapidly evolving into what I believe will be the dominant advertising model for brands going forward into the next decade.
Okay, very, very interesting. And so, what exactly do you do in this UGC world? What kind of service or products do you deliver to people?
My average day consists of creating 4 to 10 videos a day for various brands. I represent beauty and skincare lines that are looking to reach the mature woman, and I do a lot of work in fitness, fashion, and tech and apps. That's one of my favorite areas to work in, is to demonstrate how powerful an app can be and how much time it can save you. And people really enjoy seeing another person use an app before they download it.
I do agree. The most of the content you would you would see on social media often comes from young people. So we have
Yes.
this mental model where we think, oh, this is these platform and this new activity is just for young people. And so having you in this game sort of slightly enlarges the window of possibilities. How many people of your generation do you think are into this UGC content creator thing?
Very few. I would say right now in the over 50 market, there are less than 100 of us. It is a
Wow.
wide field, and the demand grows every day. I turn work away every single day, and I have not done any outbound work since I first started.
Wow. And why
All of
do you sorry, tapped into this field?
How did I? Can you say that again? You cut out.
Yeah, I said, why do you think so few people of your general content creation?
Because they're intimidated by it. The
Mm.
camera is a very intimidating thing. And I think we underestimate it when we first go into content creation, how difficult it is to just talk to a camera, to appear natural, comfortable, and like I'm talking to you right now. And it just takes practice. And I think a lot of people that are over 40 and over 50, they just think it's a young person's game, and it is not. There is so much opportunity in videography, video production. You don't even have to be the person in front of the camera. You can make a career out of this by even just editing UGC videos.
Very interesting.
I think it's
And
just a general lack of confidence, though.
um, it also seems like it's not considered a business, but more of a sort of a hobby kind of thing. And so maybe people tend to think, yeah, well, it may be nice for a hobby, but what I'm looking for is a revenue stream.
Yeah, I thought that too. I
You thought,
stumbled yes, I stumbled into it. This was not my intention to become a UGC creator. I worked in IT and SEO, web development, digital marketing. I worked for agencies. I worked freelance. I have done a lot in the corporate world. And that is what I intended to continue to do. It just fell in my lap. And it all happened because I started a personal TikTok. That's what opened the door.
excellent. So you just did a perfect transition to sort of the second phase of this conversation, which is what is your origin story. So before we tap fully into that, I just want to welcome everyone who's joining. Welcome to this live session. Again, it's a live, not recorded. So we here, we real. You can send us your questions, your comments. I'll pass them to Shannon. We are discovering the story of Shannon, who is I'm gonna say it, successful UGC content creator, and we are discovering how you got into this field and why you got into this field. So if we can tap into your origin story now, how where did it started and how you got into UGC?
I was laid off in the early 2023 layoffs in the tech industry. I was working for a solar tech. And, I thought it was going to be nothing to find another position. I got on LinkedIn, I set up my profile, I started applying, and I guess I started to get worried around the 3-month mark when I had applied for hundreds of positions and heard nothing. and my industry contacts were not tapping into anything. No one was hiring. Everyone was laying off. And it took a full year. I at least had a large enough cushion that I could absorb some of it. And I did have unemployment for a while. But I started to get really nervous. And at the 1 year mark, I said, I have to do something. So I started my own agency. I launched an SEO agency and was going that route. But as I quickly found out, and others have too, it's extremely saturated. You're competing against AI software that can do it better and faster than I can, honestly. And my heart just really wasn't in it. My heart was not in continuing to slash my.
So I don't know if we had an internet issue. Oh, it's coming back. Yeah.
Yes.
So you lost me at you didn't have the heart into it. Your heart was not into it.
My heart was not into continuing to slash my prices and to compete against people bidding SEO jobs for pennies on the dollar. And
Okay.
I just knew I had to do something else, but I didn't know what. And the
Okay.
answer arrived in my inbox. I
Okay.
received an email from Amazon asking me to apply for the Amazon influencer program. They had noticed that my TikTok had hit 10,000 and they were sending invitations out to people with 10,000 or more followers on TikTok that kind of fell into the niches they were looking for. And in my case, over 40 women, over 50 women. And I didn't take it seriously at all, but it quickly snowballed.
Okay. So a couple of quick questions to make sure everyone understands. What is SEO? Did you get my question?
I keep losing you. I
Yeah.
I see my image, but yours keeps disappearing.
Okay. I'm gonna see if I can fix that. I was asking, can we make sure everyone understand the term SEO?
Search engine optimization. It was my job to get companies ranked on the first page of Google so that they could be found. Local businesses, um, all kinds of different brands, e-commerce, to get ranked on the front page of Google and to drive traffic to their sites and to their products.
Perfect, perfect, excellent. And you so at some point you said you got this email from Amazon because you had a TikTok account of 10,000 followers. How can you tell us
Yes.
can
Yes.
you tell us a bit more about that first TikTok account and how did it grew all the way up to 10,000 followers?
I started that TikTok account just for fun. Um, I didn't have a job and I live out here in the forest and I started it just, showing flowers and mushrooms and I just started talking about things that I guess other women found interesting and it grew slow and steady, but I had one video go viral and it was about the Lionsgate portal last year on August 8th. And I just did a little video in Canva that I thought was fun. And I posted it. And the next thing I knew, it was blowing up. And I shot to 10,000 pretty quickly.
Wow, impressive. I had a conversation with I actually did a podcast with a famous YouTuber here in the Francophone Canada. He has close to 2 million subscriber on YouTube. And I asked him, why do you think you went viral and successful with your YouTube channel? And he says, I don't know, because he said, I don't look like the typical famous person. I'm not fit. I'm not I'm not super intelligent. I'm not talking about business and everything. I look like a geek wearing oversized t-shirts and making videos about food. And at some point he said, maybe that's actually why it worked. It's because I gave to YouTube a persona that people can relate to. So a lot of people who don't look like the 5-star avatars had a champion. And
Yes,
maybe this is also what happened to you. What do you think?
absolutely. I think that there is the demographic of the over 40 person is so underrepresented on every platform, yet they're there consuming content. It's kind of like LinkedIn, how only 1% of the users actually post anything. On social media, that is the case with the older generations. And the older millennials, all the way up to the younger boomers, they're using social media every single day, but they really don't create any content. I think it's less than 1% of us. And so
Yeah.
when they find a creator that looks like them and is at the life stage that they're at, it really connects. I posted a video where I just did a call to action recently, and I just said, hey, if you're an over 40 woman and you want this, you want to experience these things with me, will you please follow? And I think it's been 4 days, 5 days. I've grown almost 1,000, another 1,000,
Wow.
just from
That's
that simple call to action.
that's insane. What kind of messages and comments you're getting from your community?
How lost and alone they all feel,
Mm, mm,
especially our generation. We're sandwiched between the boomers, and then our kids are young millennials and Gen Z. And we've worked our whole lives. We were latchkey kids. We raised ourselves. We've been alone and serving others for decades. And we're getting to that age where it's like, okay, now what do I do? My kids are gone, and the world is completely different now than it used to be. And they're just feeling lost,
mm.
feeling lost. My channels have given so much to me, not just to my community.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally understand that. We have a proverb in Africa. We say every time an elder passes away, um, it's like a library who burns.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You guys have been through so many things that you've accumulated so much experience and knowledge that not making it available for others is a huge loss for everyone.
Yes, and we've survived so many economic downturns. Our whole career, most of us are in the position where we've lost our retirement funds several times over, starting
Yeah.
with the dot-com crash in 2000 and going all the way through to now. We've had 25 years of disaster after disaster in the stock market.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of, especially Americans, because I'm from Europe, so the system is slightly different. But especially for North Americans, the 50 plus people nearly got a good portion of their pension wiped out during the 2008
Yes,
crash, right?
that was me. Yes, I lost almost everything in my 401k.
Can you tell us a little bit more about how do you feel when this happens? How do you react, and how were you able to get back up?
Well, you don't have a choice but to just keep going. And I think that I and a lot of people thought that it would recover quickly. That okay, this
Mm,
has happened before, and we're in an overall period of prosperity. The value is going to come back.
mm,
And it just didn't quite happen that way. I never regained the full value of that portfolio. And I think we thought our income would continue to go up. And a lot of us have experienced a plateau for a long time where our rise in income has really just kept pace with the cost of living. And it hasn't allowed us to double down on funding those losses, perpetuating those portfolio streams.
yeah, yeah. No, this is really hard, and I think we had this conversation before, but the other interesting thing is your generation and mine grew up before internet,
Yes.
smartphones, and social media.
Yes.
If you if if somehow you could resurrect your grandmother today, she would probably go nuts because the
Oh,
world has changed so fast in the last 50 years that it's almost like we are into a multiverse. Like we just flipped into another dimension.
yes. Yes. Well, and I'm old enough to remember not having a touch tone phone. They were all rotary.
Yeah,
My parents had black and white TV. I don't think they got color until I was in kindergarten.
yeah,
So
cathodic
it was just
TVs.
like stations. That was it.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I'd like to know is, coming from this generation, it took you a lot of brain power to constantly learn and keep yourself up to date,
Yes.
because you were not born in this era, so you had to learn and adapt, as opposed to when I see my brothers and sisters or my nephew, they're born with phones, so it's like intuitive for them. So what is it that you do to train yourself to adapt to these evolutions?
I have always looked at it as play. That's why I started the TikTok channel. I was unfamiliar with the app. You know, everybody kind of started talking about it during the pandemic, and it was interesting to me. My kids were on it. I thought, okay, I'll get on there too. And I just started to play with it. And
Oh,
it was fun. I loved playing with the stickers and the filters, and it brought out the little girl in me.
mm, very
And I
interesting.
secret.
So you sort of gamify your learning experience.
Absolutely. I gamify the whole thing.
Very
I've
good.
come to a
Excellent.
place where I understand that that is what life is.
Yeah, it's interesting because that's how nature operates. If you look at wild animals, the parents teach the babies how to hunt and these kind of things through series of games. They gamify the experience. It's nature has bulletproof this way of learning, and even for us, very interesting. I'm going to pause for a second to welcome everyone into this live cast. Welcome to this session. Let us know in the comments if you hear us well, if you see us well, and if you have any questions for Shannon or comments, so that we can add that into the conversation. So I want to get back now to the first TikTok video. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because, and I see that a lot with my clients, shipping the first product, shipping the first piece of content, the first action is often the hardest. And I would like to know, what was the story of the first time you hit the record button, and the first time you hit the publish button?
The first video that I made was telling my audience why I was starting the channel. And I explained that I found myself stranded in the woods,
Hmm.
um, and that I had always, as a little girl, fancied myself a witch, and that I lived among the fairies. And so that I was going to take this experience of being stuck here, and I was going to play fairy witch for a while. And if they wanted to hang out with me, to follow. That was my first video.
Wow. What were the consequences of that first video?
I grew quickly. Like, I could not believe how fast. I went from 0 to a few hundred in the first week, and it just continued to snowball. And then I had the August video. So it was about the August video was about 3 or 4 months into it.
Wow.
And I just shot past right past 10,000. Now, it did slow down after that. I have not chased virality ever again.
Mm.
And the reason for that is because it was so overwhelming.
Oh, can you tell us a bit more about that?
Because the topic of the video was very broad,
Mm-hmm.
that's why it went viral, because it appealed to so much more than my core audience. So that big surge, I grew from like, I don't know, 2,000, 3,000 up to 10,000 in a matter of a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And all the wrong people. They were all the wrong people. And it was because it was a trending topic and a trending video.
Yeah, I love this quote from Naval Ravikant. He says, "Play stupid games, win stupid prizes." Oh,
Mm-hmm.
it's a bit
Yes.
harsh in this situation, doesn't it? But it's kind of the thing. Yeah, if you playing for virality, you'll earn the wrong rewards. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So after that, I was very intentional. My growth has been much slower. I've only grown 4,000 in the last year, but they've been all the right people. Most of them have followed me from platform to platform and to my newsletter. So it's been an amazing experience to
Mm.
slowly and purposefully build that community.
Yeah, I've worked with a couple of people who I helped get onto YouTube, and it's funny because um, the first thing they all said, not to jump into it, was people will make fun of me, or my friends and relatives will make fun of me, and B, I'll get hateful comments.
Yes, that is true. Those are all true things. I wish I could say they're not, but your skin thickens. It really does. The first few hateful comments are tough, but you just come to where you understand that they're just they hurt inside. Those kind of people are really hurting inside.
Hmm.
And once you build a community, I don't even have to say anything. I rarely even address hateful comments. My audience takes care of it for me.
Mm. You have an army of guardians.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Yeah.
And I that is a nice feeling. It's a lovely feeling to have a community that wraps their arms around you, and I don't care if it's just a dozen people. Like I would say my core community is less than 30 people on TikTok. But I know if I have a hurt, they're right there. And I'm right there for them.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's very inspiring. That's very inspiring. Um, and what I've seen as well is, you start to push your first content, your first videos, your first posts. And what I've noticed is that the first thing that happened is not the hateful comment. The sort of higher, the potential reaction to that is nothing. If you get no views, you get no comments, nobody cares. This
Yes.
is the highly probable situation.
Yes.
People tend to think that you'll publish your first piece of content, and the first thing that is going to happen is negative stuff, where often the first thing that happens is nothing,
Nothing.
because
Yes.
everyone is busy with his or her own life,
Yes.
so that they wouldn't spend time commenting on this. But you have to do it. You have to do it. So you published your first video, you got traction, then your account went to 10K, TikTok account went to 10K, then you got an email from Amazon, uh, and then what happens from this point, and when in your mind it clicks and you finally understand, okay, I'm gonna stop SEO and all my previous activities and focus comprehending the fact that this could be your new career.
I get it was within the first couple of weeks. I
Mm.
did the Amazon influencer program. I got approved. I didn't personally do anything with it, but I started receiving direct messages from brands, from sellers on Amazon. Hey, would you make a video about this product? I'm trying to get reviews, I'm trying to get videos made, and I am struggling to get my product noticed. And I was like, sure, I'd be happy to. And that is how it started. I signed up on for a couple of apps like Join Brands, and of course I have profiles on Upwork and Fiverr, my own website, and my LinkedIn profile, and all of them, they all bring in inbound work. TikTok does, Instagram. I just launched 2 new YouTube channels as well, and those will also be avenues of inbound work.
Impressive. And
So it
to demystify,
it was
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
go ahead. It was about 2 to 3 weeks. Within 6 weeks, I had made the decision that I was all in on this.
Yeah, in the startup world, we tend to say success is obvious. So yeah, 2 to 3 weeks is definitely one of those definition of success. The other question I get often is I can't start because I can't afford to get the fancy camera, the perfect microphone, the light, the computer with the license to do montage and all of that stuff.
This is it. This is all I use. That's it. That's all you need.
You got me with just one image.
That's it. No excuses. Everything you need is on your phone.
Yeah. Yeah. Perfect. Did you have production skills prior to that?
No, I was terrified of video. Terrified of it. And I mean, TikTok made me a little more comfortable, but again, I was just looking at it as playing around in the forest with the fairies and making silly videos. My channel's gotten a lot more serious over time as I've grown more comfortable talking. But at first, they were terrible. I didn't understand lighting. I didn't understand sound. I didn't understand how to cut from scene to scene. I had to learn all of that. But there are so many apps, CapCut, Canva, that make it so easy.
For free.
Yes, for free.
So
I posted it on my LinkedIn. I would
you can
not be
start
where
for free as long.
yeah, without Canva.
Absolutely.
My phone Canva is how I have produced everything for my UGC career.
Yeah, you can start. You can start with virtually nothing but a phone and an internet connection. Is great. I even met people who didn't have an internet connection. They would typically go to a coffee shop or any so that they can upload their videos.
Yes.
It's doable. The other typical reaction I get from people, the fear of the family reaction. So people say, "Yeah, but I don't want to do this because my family's going. How will I explain this to my kids?" What was your situation? What was your case?
My kids, I think they think it's funny. One of my daughters finds it hilarious. And she comments on, because I'm popping up on ads now.
Oh, wow.
I'm popping up in ads, and my kids have seen me in a couple of ads because I do some products that are geared towards their age group, young mothers, because I've had a lot of babies and I talk about that kind of stuff a lot. So I popped up in an ad for one of my daughters on TikTok, and she was like, I cannot believe that my mother is showing up in my feed. So she thinks it's great. Now, a couple of the others find it, I think, maybe silly. Like, I never saw your career going this direction. And it's been mainly the older relatives that don't understand what I'm
Mm.
doing.
What kind
They
of
don't understand the difference between being, having a TikTok, my own TikTok, and being paid to make TikToks for other people, being paid to make ads. They don't really understand all of that. So they just think I think I heard once, oh, you're trying to be one of those young kids. And that was
uh,
maybe the hardest comment that I got. And I had to step back for a minute and think about why I was reacting to that. And I thought,
mm.
so what if why is it only 20-year-olds who are allowed to have fun on social media?
Let me enjoy my Peter Pan syndrome.
That's right. Yeah. And I do think you reach an age where you don't care anymore, too.
Mm. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I want to pause for a second to welcome everyone who's joining now. This is Shannon, who moved from being laid off at 52 to become a UGC consultant on social media. So if you have any questions for us, write them down in the comments, or if you have any comments to share with Shannon, let us know. Into that, well, a question I always love to ask people is how do they present what they kids? If you had to go to one of those, grandparents' day or something like that, how would you present what you're doing?
Oh, yeah, I would just tell them. I I make videos for makeup and hair products. The kids would completely understand. They would get it. I have no problem explaining what I do to younger people.
Nice. Yeah. And and what is the reaction of your grandkids about what you're doing?
Oh, they love it. They love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
They
very
think
funny
that's
because yeah, I have one of my friends. One day, his son saw one of the video and he said, "Oh, dad, you're on YouTube." I said, "Yeah, you must be rich." And his dad just said, "Not yet. So let's make your Christmas list wish list bigger."
working on it.
Yeah, working on it. Absolutely, absolutely. Working on it. A transition to uh, the second phase of this interview. Talk a little bit more about how is it going. I would like to finish with a couple of pro tips you can give people so that they can start. Uh, can you make a living out of it?
You can make a living out of it very, very quickly. I've
Hmm.
completely replaced my full-time corporate income in 3 months. It's not difficult to get the work. There is
Mm,
more work than there are creators, for sure. My Your portfolio is the most important way to get started, though. And before you can really start creating videos for clients, you've got to create videos for yourself. So my best recommendation is just to start a social media channel and to start creating videos as if you are already a UGC creator. And that can be as simple as sharing an app that you found, or sharing a game that you're playing, sharing the new lipstick that you just bought, or that great pair of
mm,
hiking boots, that type of content. And that is what's going to lead to your confidence growing in being able to share and demonstrate a product or a service. My favorite, absolute hands down favorite jobs are local business. That is my favorite type of business to help. Whether it's a private school, a dentist, an attorney, they have they are at such a disadvantage at being able to create really high quality content. They either
Mm,
have to do it all themselves, hand it off to an employee that really may or may not understand how to do it,
mm,
or pay an agency. UGC is opening doors for small
mm.
businesses around the world to access and be able to tap into markets they've never been able to reach.
In that
Yeah.
happening, I was having a brainstorming session with the friends, and we were at this restaurant. The restaurant was a friend of my client, and the thing was, I wouldn't say dead, but it was lightly populated. And what happened is that they created like a special offer or something, and a couple of days later, an Instagram influencer tried the restaurant. Was it a real? Yeah, it was a real about it. The reel nearly approached 1 million views. From the following day to probably now, there's now a lineup in this restaurant. So the restaurant went from an empty place to a place where you could line up for 30 minutes to get a table.
Yes. And a lot of my clients approach me and say, I've tried to get reviews from my customers. I've asked them to do review videos, and they either forget to, or the quality is not where it should be, or they don't really mention the right things. And the other part of it is, if you're a professional UGC creator, you're going to understand the keywords you need to use in the videos too, to make sure that it gets
Hmm,
picked up by the search algorithm, and
hmm,
to double the whammy of those videos and have them be a long-term organic reach and a short-term potential to be a little viral on the ad side. And as a new creator,
hmm,
just making these videos on your own TikTok, your own Instagram, or even your own YouTube, and watching other people's is going to give you all the skills that you need. I've learned
hmm.
everything just watching videos on TikTok. I didn't have to take
Hmm.
a course. You don't need to pay anybody.
Yes, this is also the thing is that people tend to think you need to learn a lot before being able to execute,
No.
when in reality, learn better by executing. So you learn by
Yes.
doing, and so the more you
You
do,
learn
the
it
more
by
you learn.
doing. Yes.
At some point,
And
yeah, go ahead.
And you can make your videos private. You can start a TikTok channel. You can start an Instagram and make your videos and just keep them private. You don't have to put them out to the public until you are comfortable. So if you want to just start making videos and seeing what they would look like on the app, you just keep them private. You're the only one who can see them, but you can hit play. You can see it just exactly how your audience would see it. And that's going to help you become more confident and comfortable in putting it out there.
Absolutely. There's always like this undo button, theoretically undo button, where you hide your videos,
You can
and that's
always
it.
make your video. If you decide you don't like a video, you can always make it private, and it just takes it right off the feed.
Yeah.
And then when you're
So
ready,
interesting. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
to start actively looking for jobs, my recommendation is to start on joinbrands.com and Fiverr. Those are the two platforms that are beginner friendly and where you're going to experience a significant rate of growth and get great reviews. Those two sites
Well,
make it super simple.
again, that's a perfect transition to sort of the last phase where we get into the technicality of So I would like to get back to what you said about private video, and what is the difference between make the impact or the consequences?
When you have a brand new channel,
Mhm.
it's fine to make all your videos private. You're until you really start publishing consistently, the algorithm has no idea who you are or what you're doing. There are tons of people on TikTok that never publish a single video, and then one day decide to start putting videos out there, and it's just like they're a brand new account when they do. If
Hmm.
you're an established account, you can make videos private that aren't performing well and are hurting your engagement. Or maybe you've changed your position on something and you want to redo the video. You can make it private or you can leave it up and refer back to it. It's kind of up to your individual discretion. The only videos that I've ever made private are ones where I felt like they were so far off my main message that they were going to, again, draw the wrong followers and hurt my end goal, which is to build a community. And I won't build a
But why
community
not?
by attracting every interest out there.
But why not deleting those videos?
If you delete the video, it removes the information, the analytics from your account. And you don't really want it. You can do that. And that could potentially be a dink. I've heard varying opinions on that. When you delete content repeatedly, TikTok doesn't like that.
Hmm.
Making it private is not a problem. People make it private,
Interesting.
switch it back. They'll make it private, publish it to a story. We repurpose our content kind of strategically that way.
Hmm. Very interesting. Very interesting. Let us know in the chat if you have any comments or questions for technicality of going into UGC. So I would like to compile a little bit of a to start. So the first element is you need the will to start smartphone with an internet connection.
Yeah.
Create your first account. Does it have to use your own name? What would you suggest?
If you're just going to play around, it does not. You don't have to use your real name ever if you don't want to. And that's a way that you can get around people finding you, your friends and
Hmm.
family, if you're really worried about that. I use my own name. I've just reached that age where I don't care. But you can start anywhere. LinkedIn is a totally appropriate place to start. LinkedIn is making that transition into short form video, vertical video. It's in beta
Hmm.
right now in the app for selected people. And you have probably noticed that there are a lot of us who are upticking our video production on LinkedIn. And there's a reason for that. It's because we know what's coming. They're beta testing it right now. It's going to go out to all of us. I'm going to say probably Q4 or Q1 next year. And
Hmm.
I think it's going to take off like gangbusters. And the creators on LinkedIn that are taking advantage of video are going to be leagues ahead of people who are steadfastly holding to text.
Very interesting. So the next thing I would ask is, do you have to show your face in those?
You do not. You can become a UGC creator without ever showing your face. There are unboxing videos, there are product demonstrations, there apps and games typically do not require you to show your face. There are plenty of opportunities for faceless UGC. The primary component is your presentation. You cannot use AI voiceovers. You must use your own voice. If they wanted you to use an AI voiceover, they would just create the video with an AI voice. And a lot of people are worried that AI video will knock out UGC, and that is not going to happen. It AI video is nowhere close to being able to physically demonstrate a product. You cannot take a physical product and give it to an AI and tell it to use that exact product. You can tell an AI model to put on mascara, but it's not going to be the tube of mascara physically from your store.
Mm,
I have no fear of AI
very
video
interesting.
taking over UGC.
Okay. Okay. What? So 3 simple steps to follow to start.
One, have one social media profile. LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube, where you are posting video content. Number two, make sure you have a portfolio site set up, and it can be as simple as a free Canva site or a Wix site. Do not use your LinkedIn for this. You need a separate site, and you need to be able to upload video, so you've got to have some bandwidth to be able to do that. And as you create these videos for yourself, for your channel, you're going to put them on your portfolio site so that you have a place to direct a client to for them to be able to see exactly what they can expect from you in a video. And then number three would be to register on joinbrands.com or fiverr.com and set up a profile and start getting some work.
Hmm.
What I love about Join Brands is they have
Okay.
express jobs. They're $5.
Sorry. What is that?
They're called express jobs, and it's a great way to break in. They pay very little. They're very low budget jobs. They pay $5. And it's usually an Amazon product where they're just asking you to do an unboxing of an Amazon product. And they'll pay you $5 to do it. But it gets you reviews. They're very easy to qualify for. The brands aren't picky because they know they're only paying $5. And they will get you, I'm going to move into the shade. It will get you a long ways in having enough reviews to start attracting those inbound leads.
Which is even better than what you can do in other fields. What typically happens when you are or whatever, you will take on work for free. So here, you even getting a couple of bucks to get it done. To step up in this situation, it's an advantage that you would typically have. Would those videos be part of your account, or is it something that you would just publish so that they can put them on their platforms?
Most of the time, they're publishing it on their platform. So when I create a video for a brand, they are most often using it to create an ad, a Facebook ad or a TikTok ad. They're going to use that on their own account.
Hmm. Very interesting. Okay, so just to summarize a little bit, create your blog or website that would reference your portfolio, and then jump into any of them, and we'll talk about it in a second. But you typically suggest Fiverr and
Join Brands.
perfect. So I recall about Upwork, and the reason why you typically prefer Fiverr to Upwork.
Upwork
For you, just
is,
elaborating on that.
yes, Upwork is, you have to pay, you have to use your connects to be able to bid a job. And of course, on Upwork, you're bidding against a lot of other people. On Fiverr, it's all inbound. And that's my preference is for a brand to find me based on my keywords: over 50, over 40, gray hair, wrinkles. You know, they need to want what I look like, right? So they need to want a mature woman who is struggling with the same issues any mature woman is struggling with. And that way, when they find me, they already know we're a match. On Upwork, I have no idea whether I'm going to be a match. They may not even put any details in there about what they're looking for. They just put female UGC creator, but they may be looking for somebody who's 25, not 54.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So that's two other topic I want to cover is uh, what can you do to grow your account
On TikTok or which
in the
platform?
yeah, TikTok for UGC. So how do you grow your account? And also, and I think this is the biggest part, how you get ideas of content, because this is where most of people are limbed the wrong way.
Yes. So on TikTok, I have a very specific way that I get content, and that is creator search insights. When you're on TikTok, you can go to the home page, just your home feed, the FYP page, and you're going to use the little magnifying glass to search. And you're going to search creator search insights, those exact words. And what's going to pop up is a list of videos that need to be made. TikTok hands you all of the topics that people are searching for where there's not enough videos. And that is the secret to my growth and growth in general on TikTok. I
This is
just make the videos that people are searching for.
because most of people think they come up with ideas and they hope the
Yes.
audience will like it talk, and now
Yeah,
other platforms are starting to shift with that. They're telling you in advance what people are searching for, what kind of content that you can make it.
that's right. All of the platforms, their goal is retention. Every platform wants to keep the user engaged. And the only way they're going to do that is to serve up what the user is looking for. They are going after search. Google is not going to be the dominant search engine for much longer. TikTok is closing in, and YouTube is already right there.
Yeah, it's very interesting because I sort of noticed that when I'm searching for typically a restaurant to eat to in social media, because it will give me pictures, it will give me videos, and not just like text
Yes.
that can even by people who would just buy for reviews or these kind of things. So
Hmm.
I can notice that there's a shift.
Yes. And this is the whole not chasing virality and giving the searcher what they're looking for. Because if one person is, I mean, it gives you the search volume. You wouldn't believe the search terms too, like things that you would never in a million years think of. Never. At least I didn't. You know, my audience wants to know about things like what's your Venus sign? What color should I be wearing in a summer outfit if I have Venus in Libra? I would have never thought of that.
Me neither.
What a fun topic. I'll research the shit out of that and let you know. Oh, I'm sorry.
No worries, no worries. I'm French. We swear a lot. I had a look at the creative search insights as well myself, and I do agree. There's so many things you wouldn't even you just like mine it. You literally have to mine it. And
Yes.
so the ideas are out there, them. So now that you have to make the content, now that you're making the content, what are the steps the that that you've made or that you've seen that people should avoid?
Catering to the masses, the chasing viral videos. I would not make that mistake again. If I could do it
Mm,
over, I would take that video back,
mm,
and I would have grown slower, steadier, and with the right people.
mm.
'Cause in the end, that video and that surge in growth probably hurt me by about 6 months.
That's insane.
Mhm.
Yeah. So taking your time, building the right content, the right community,
Yep. And reaching out to other
and to
creators. We all love to help each other.
mm.
And, if anybody in your audience is
How would
starting
you typically do that?
I would I help people all the time. My audience members and other people that I follow when they start new channels, I go follow, I support, I share their stuff, I repost. Reposting is a great way to grow. You can repost other creators' material, and they will often go through and find 4 or 5 of yours to repost. So
Mm.
when I come across something that I know my audience would be interested in, I don't hesitate to share it.
Very interesting. Very interesting. And aiming for the masses, or aiming for virality, and then
Helping
helping
and helping. Yes.
your peers. Yeah. Hmm.
Mhm.
Very interesting. Yeah, we are social animals after all, so I guess
Yeah,
the
and
social aspect really.
be in your natural where you feel best naturally. I do a lot of my videos outside because this is where I feel best. This is where I'm the most confident.
Yeah, I agree.
Because fairies
How
and are confident, aren't they?
absolutely. And how often would you typically, if you have to start?
You cut out on that one. Can you say it again?
Yeah, sure. Publishing content, what would be the frequency of post?
I would say I average 5 times a week on TikTok, much less on Instagram. Instagram is a tougher market anymore. Very tough to translate into what I'm wanting to do anyway. And the community aspect is bigger for me on TikTok than Instagram. And I
Mm,
try to post at least 3, if not 5 times a week. And same thing on LinkedIn. I do 3 to 5 a week on LinkedIn as well. And I just
mm,
started YouTube, so I'm brand new on
mm,
YouTube. But one channel I started yesterday. I posted 5 videos in one day to launch it. And the other one, I've done 7 videos, and I started that one August 1st.
so you typically go all in.
Oh, I'm all in. Yes. I don't do anything halfway.
Would you suggest people to start halfway, or it has to be all in?
I think it determines your personality is what drives that. So I am a very driven and obsessive type person. I mean, I'm your typical tech person. Give me some coffee and Red Bull, and I'll work for 40 hours straight.
Maybe here's a TikTok video idea, and you would post based on your sign, astrological sign.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, yes, that's a great idea. I will do it. What's your
Please tag
business
me on
style?
it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll repost it for sure.
Absolutely doing it. And I'm going to
Yeah,
tag you in
yeah,
it.
and yeah, please do. And this is a typical example of an ideation process.
Yes.
Talking with other people, write them down so you can have a conversation with other creators, sharing about your life, and these can also sparkle ideas
Yes.
Yes.
I highly recommend just keeping a little notebook journal to write everything down in and to write down your triumphs and even your heartbreaks and go back and look at it. I journal every day and it has been invaluable in this process.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. We are about to close this. Reminder to the people who are watching the session. If you have any comments or question for Shannon, this is your last chance. And number one, is there any other tips you want to share to the people to get started?
Just just push record. Doing anything, washing your dishes, washing the car, talking to your dog, just push record. You would be amazed. That's called B-roll. Just recording yourself doing things and you'll wind up using it, I promise you. Record yourself doing things, start storing it in the cloud, and you will have tons of footage to pull from to make amazing videos.
Just push record. I would like to challenge you quickly. If you had to complete this sentence, what would you say? The sentence is two.
You're going to have to say it again. You cut out.
I said I would like you to complete the following sentence. Life is too short to.
To not have fun with what you're doing. That's the biggest lesson I've learned from this whole thing is that when we look at work as play, the universe delivers it up on a silver platter. Have fun and it will arrive.
I love it. I love it. Yes, absolutely. Shannon, this was an amazing session. And I want to remind people who are watching this was live. And it was a bit of a challenge. And I think you nailed it. It was fantastic. I hope people got a lot of golden nuggets. And I want to give you the conclusion. But first, if you can just tell us how people can reach out to you if they want to consume your content, work with you, work for you, how can we reach you?
You can find me on LinkedIn at Shannon G. Hansen, and I'm on all the socials at Shannon Glows Up. And if you are a brand and you want to work with me, just reach out. Yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah, wonderful, wonderful.
And if you
Final
want
word
to
for
learn
you.
about UGC, if you want to learn about UGC or becoming a content creator in your 40s or 50s or even beyond, follow me here on LinkedIn. And I even started a new YouTube channel yesterday at UGC Creators Club over on YouTube, where I'll be just sharing everything I've learned and how to do it.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Thank you so much for this session.
Oh, thank you.
And I just, yeah. And we'll do that again if questions and comments and stuff like that. I'm more than happy to do like an episode 2, and maybe we can have it on your YouTube channel this time.
Okay. That sounds good.
Challenge accepted. So I love this final word. Whatever you want to do, hit the record button.
Yes.
Hit the record. Because
Just
remember, life is too short not to have fun doing what you want.
yes.
See you next.